Of all the games to see a revival this year, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was probably one of the least likely. Originally developed by Big Huge Games and 38 Studios and released in 2012, messy circumstances left it in limbo. Even with THQ Nordic purchasing the rights in September 2018, Electronic Arts still had the publishing rights, and it was unclear whether the game would ever return. Fortunately, things worked out, and the somewhat ridiculously named Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning was announced this past June. It's out on September 8th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So, what can you expect from the remaster, or for that matter, from the original game? Let's take a look at 10 things you should know before picking it up. Improved graphical fidelity. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning will have improved graphical fidelity according to all the listings thus far. While developer Kaiko and publisher THQ Nordic haven't given away too many details, this seemingly translates to better textures, more detailed character models, and improved effects and environments, at least going by the screenshots. A more technical breakdown will likely be provided before launch, so stay tuned for that. Native 4K resolution support. One thing that has been outright confirmed is that the remaster has native 4K resolution support. This seems a given for PC, Xbox One, and PS4 Pro, though the question remains as to how it will look on the upgraded current-gen consoles. Will it even run at 4K 60 frames per second? Will there be different modes for players to choose? The latter seems unlikely, but it would be nice to have the option. Story and setting. For anyone who's never heard of, much less engaged with the original, just what is going on? Well, let's start with the story and setting created by fantasy writer R.A. Salvatore. It takes place in the Feylands, which is comprised of a number of regions and serves as home to the Fey. The Fey are unique in that they're immortal. However, that actually means they can be reborn into a new body after dying. There are also the standard humans with the Almain and the Varani, along with the gnomes and light and dark elves, known as the Losafar and the Dakalfar, respectively. The story sees you playing as someone named the Fateless One, who's resurrected in the Well of Souls as part of an experiment. When the Tuatha Dion, the corrupted Fae who's going around killing all the other races, attacks the well, the Fateless One escapes and meets with Agarth, a Fate Weaver. Thus do they journey to learn more about their past and perhaps alter fate. Combat, Fate Shifting, and Reckoning Mode. Kingdom of Amalur's combat is real-time and reminiscent of a hack-and-slash RPG. There are 3 main stats to invest in: might, sorcery, and finesse, and new abilities can be unlocked via their skill trees. The combat itself is straightforward enough with 2 interesting additions: the Fate System and Reckoning Mode. The Fate System manifests in the form of Fate Shifting, which is essentially a finisher. However, when it's activated, a button will appear that can be pressed continuously for additional experience before ending a foe. Reckoning Mode is your standard super mode, which slows everything down and allows for quickly defeating enemies. It's possible to use Fate Shifting while in Reckoning Mode, bringing enemies down quicker while gaining more experience in the process. Destinies. Fate plays a pretty strong role in the story, right up to how you treat different NPCs. However, destinies are more gameplay oriented and facilitate the different subclasses you can change to. As you invest more points into might, sorcery, and finesse, you'll unlock new destinies. For example, when you invest in might, the brawler will be your first class and has melee attack damage and block efficiency bonuses. Invest more points, and eventually you'll unlock the soldier, who has both of those along with a stun duration bonus. In the same way, investing in finesse will allow for more ranger and roguelike classes, while sorcery offers mage-like classes. But wait, there's more. Invest points into 2 stats and you'll unlock hybrid classes, like the warden, who specializes in melee and range damage along with having a critical hit chance bonus. Or the Arcanist, who can blink around while dealing increased piercing damage and guaranteed critical hits to panicked foes. You can even invest in all 3 stats for Jack-of-all-trades destinies. Content and total playtime. Among the many things that Kingdoms of Amalur is known for is its extensive content. Not counting the DLC, it'll take over 100 hours to experience the story and side quests. The side quests can vary from regular fetch quests to kill missions to faction quests, which is good for developing one's character and playing around with combat. Overall, you can expect over 200 side quests, an extensive main quest, and numerous other tasks to keep you busy. Includes all DLC. Of course, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning has more to offer, packing all of the DLC with it. This includes the Teeth of Naros, which features a new region and city along with new weapons and armor, a new damage type, and a new race, the Colossi. There's also the Legend of Dead Kel, which adds a new island, new enemies, a new type of dungeon, new items, and an estate for players to keep their stuff. Each of the above DLCs has their own main quest and side quests as well, and together adds about 20 hours of playtime to the experience. Finally, there's the Weapons and Armor bundle, which offers new weapons and 3 new armor sets befitting each main stat. Less than 30 gigabytes in size. According to the game's Microsoft Store listing, the overall size will be 29.97 gigabytes. Though it doesn't seem all that big, especially considering current gen titles that can easily surpass 100 gigs, the original game was less than 7 gigabytes in size. Even factoring in all the DLC, the remaster being roughly 30 gigabytes could indicate how much work has gone into improving the assets and environments. Standard, Fate, and Collector's Editions. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning has 3 separate editions on offer: Standard, Fate, and Collector's Edition. The Standard Edition, costing $40, provides just the game. The Fate Edition contains the base game along with a new expansion, which we'll get to in a bit, for $55. For the die-hard fans, the Collector's Edition provides the base game and new expansion, 5 artworks, the original soundtrack, a keychain, and a statue of Alan Shearer along, all packed in a large box. It's $110 on PS4 and Xbox One, while costing $100 on PC. Fate Sworn Expansion. As noted before, a brand new expansion will be coming to Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning with Fate Sworn. It's out in 2021, and according to its Microsoft Store listing, there will be 5+ hours of gameplay. The story sees the Fateless One visited by Garth, who informs them that their resurrection in the Well of Souls has caused widespread consequences to the Weave. How things progress from there remains to be seen, but it'll probably be a while before more details are revealed.
And that wraps it up. If you like what we are doing, please consider subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon. That way you will never miss out on any of our videos.